Good to see you as stakeholders of the APC in the local government. I'm very much in touch with your chairman, and at short notice is assembling people here to receive me. I want to thank you very profoundly from my heart. Uh, I am Kassim Afegbua, by way of introduction. I was a one-time commissioner for information under Shomali's administration. Uh, I am ex-this, ex-that, spokesman to Babangida, spokesman to PDP presidential campaign in 2019, spokesman to Tinubu's campaign 2023, and here I am today presenting myself as a Guba aspirant to the good people of Edo State, APC. I have been fighting all manners of political battles, for those who know me too well, because I am driven by my convictions. I don't promise what I won't do, and I don't do what I won't promise. So when it comes to my person and my persona, I know that I'm driven by conviction. And by the special grace of God, I see myself as a veritable aspirant that has the capacity to assume the candidate of the party if truth be told, because amongst all the aspirants, I have been so generous with my support for them. Even as a member of PDP in 2020, I fought Obaseki to his standstill and delivered the entire forward of my community to Izeyam of the APC. Why? Because I felt that Obaseki was being imposed on us by the factors in Abuja. And as a consequence of that, I also fought Uche Secondus, national chairman of PDP, and sought to his removal as chairman of the PDP. Don't mind my size. When I take on battles, I don't look back. Because not until I took them to the EFCC, they never thought I was serious. Uche Secondus and his executive were saying, don't mind him, he's an inconsequential fellow. I say I like to be underrated. But by the time the consequences of their action came staring them in the face, they had no option but to take a bow from the leadership of PDP. Of course, they took me to court, suing me for libel and all of that. But when I presented my defense, they have since run away. 2 years now, they are running away from court. So I am not one that is known for fighting, for running away from battles. I am bold, I'm fearless, I'm courageous, and I don't give a damn about that because that is who I am. I can't pretend to be someone else. Kassim Afegbua is driven by his conviction, and by the grace of God, I'm a man of conscience. When in 2016 I was a commissioner, I still stood my ground that I was not going to support Obaseki, even though he was the candidate of Adam Shoshomole. And my reasons were very clear. Time has proven me right today. When everything was on the lawmaking side, we can bear testimony to the fact that I told Obaseki I won't support him in 2016 because I saw him as a bad man. He will continue to remain a bad man. And instead of me remaining to be lamenting about the plight of Edo now, I needed to join the fray so that I will be part and parcel of the process to heal the wounds. So I may not have the answer to all the problems, but when you have people like this assembled in a hall who represent the face of the party in the state, particularly in the local government, if one of you became the number one victim of Obaseki, Henry Diabo, he carried Obaseki to his head on himself, marketing him in 2016. I called him. I said, you will regret your action. No sooner Obaseki became, he was number one casualty. So, I may not have the clairvoyance to predict the future, but I can see clearly that the state needs a vibrant young man who can articulate issues, who can generate ideas from different brains, who can connect with the people, display a rich emotional intelligence, so that collectively we can move the state forward. I am not going to promise what I can do, but I know that the state requires a man that has the experience, that has the capacity, and the intellectual fecundity to be able to connect the dots. Governance has been sleeping. In the place of governance, they have been spreading hatred. They've been dividing us instead of building state cohesion and promote a sense of homogeneity which formed the basis for that maxim. Edo Okpamahim, they have separated us. And you see the governor fighting the deputy fighting the governor fighting the party fighting the governor. And now the governor is coming up with an anointed son, another technocrat who does not even understand the nuances of what governance should be in a state like Edo that is noted for its homogeneity. When they travel our roads, they say, oh, this is federal road, as if it is federal government that is coming to apply the road. So this is the time for us to interrogate the administration, to speak truth to power. I've been fighting Obaseki on the pages of newspaper, on television, and all of that. He has threatened and threatened and threatened. I'm sure they are tired of threatening me. I am not one who will bow to pressure or threats from anybody. My life is in the hand of God, and only God can decree the way it is. So I want to appreciate you people for being leaders of Egor, local government APC. If you were not holding your oath, you won't have this kind of people assembling here to receive aspirants. You have toiled from the down there to the setting of the sun to ensure that this party remains afloat in the face of terrible behavior from the government at Osadepe Avenue. They don't want to see your faces. You worked hard in 2016 to enthrone the leadership here. You thought you were working for a man who will appreciate the good deeds you have done. But as soon as he came, he opened the doors of Oko prison and was throwing our people there. And I remember asking him, why are you locking up people? He said he needs to show might so that they will realize that the initially was to come. He's not going to behave like somebody who connects with people. And I said, but you are making a big mistake. These same people, you will go back to them what you mean. It doesn't matter. So when he came into PDP and I was fighting him, I said, I told the leader, this man showed bad behavior in APC when he knows that he was going to seek re-election. If he comes to PDP and is giving the ticket, knowing that he will not seek any other election, he will be bad, multiple folds. And I've been proving right. There are not people who laundered him across the 192 wards for his first casualty. He fought an army to stand still. We who came here to campaign and ensure that they won the election, but covert and overt means became another of his beating. And so, I'm saying that in the life of a state, where you have chosen a leader who should represent you and also translate your aspirations into something edible for the people, why must it be quarrel and quarrel and quarrel all the time? If he has abandoned governance, what else has he done rightly? He has succeeded in trying to ensure that he annihilates our traditional institution. Just simple logic. They brought in artifacts from Germany, from UK. As soon as he saw that there was money there, he wanted to show gusto. Exactly. Oh, I'm the governor. German government brought 10 million euros to help build the Benin Palace Museum. Obaseki sat on it. He didn't even let the palace to know about it until I alerted the nation. So there was 10 million euros that had been released. But the man brought strangers from different parts of the country. They said they are building a Benin Museum. Is this stranger that will tell us about our own tradition? If you cannot offer governance, must you fight those who are already existing before now? The Benin monarchy is one of the fundamental, monarchies we have in the world. And I say this without due sense of responsibility, because when you talk about the Benin Palace, it is the only institution where, when the king is not there, prayers are rendered on his behalf. Oba Atokwe, anybody who says prayers here, he will end it with Oba Atokwe. Is the king here? But we wish him well all the time. That is the content of our traditional ethics and the rights that we owe as citizens of this state. A lot of Edo communities derive their ancestral linkages from the Benin Kingdom and from Okpola, from the royal house of Afegbua. When we trust our history, we trust into the Benin Kingdom. Bomaza is from here. They corrupted the name. And so, when you have a state with that level of homogeneity, where there is state cohesion, all you need to do is to connect to the people, and you will govern peacefully. But those who want to destroy our future, they will throw up divide and rule techniques. That was what the white man did when they came. They call it indirect rule. Divide and rule. They pick this, they hammer this. That's what Obaseki has been doing. Now, as if that is not enough, they will go back with what allocation that is due to them from the local government account, sit on top of it. He was running the state with 9-member House of Assembly, such that when it was time to vote for local government autonomy, his now assembly member vote against it, because they want to have a conquistador, a man driven by acquisition, that is relishing in self-grandeur, just to make sure that he perpetuates himself. Now he has come with an anointed son. Big boss are all over the place. But when will emerge as candidate, when I emerge as candidate by the special grace of God, by your support, we will look them eyeball to eyeball. We will dare them. We have all it takes to dare them. If we read signboard and they pull it down, we will pull down all their own. And I will lead the charge. I will lead the charge. A governor has his limitation. I have told Obaseki before. It is not everything that a governor wants that he gets. Particularly a governor that does not earn the respect of the people. A governor that promotes divide and rule. A governor that thinks that he's the only one who is the reservoir of knowledge, and the only one who resonates the wisdom of a collective. Edo is made up of solid minds. I will have that spirit called can-do spirit. But a stranger has come in our midst, dominated the inner sanctum of our homes. And for that reason, he wants us to answer to his calling. We will not bow to his threats. So as APC, we have a Herculean task on our hands. This state must go back to APC. The governor, the misfortune of the government of the day in the state that made him to jump ship and went to PDP and still behaving in like terms, thinking that he approximates all our collective wisdom. That thinking will come to an end on September 21st, 2024. I can assure you, I'd like to be underrated, Mr. Chairman. People say, what is he looking for? I'm looking to govern the states. But I don't approximate your collective wisdom. Not at all. I understand that every geopolitical zone in the state, senatorial district, has a right to aspire. I concede to that. Because zoning in APC is not written in black and white. In PDP, it's written in Article 7, Section C of its own constitution. It was the reason why I fought Article to a standstill. And I'm proud to say that I was part and parcel of the process to ensure that the power comes down to the south. And continue to become the president. We go now. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I don't have answers to all the problems nagging the states. I don't even have the solutions all. But a government that connects with the people, that tap initiatives and ideas from the people, has the tendency to have solutions to every problem. We know the problems. Our education is still in doldrums. Health sector, zero. Whatever you see in the states that are relics of what exists as government was what Oshomole did. I was coming here past that junction, I almost couldn't recognize it. When we were recovering that place, driving heavy duty rims underneath. People didn't understand what we were doing. Today we were able to reclaim that place from erosion and flooding that used to threaten people's lives. We were doing well from Ebobutu down to Ibunadua, down to Silokoro. This government, rather than continuing, abandon it. He feels that he doesn't want to continue what Oshomole started. We recovered Queen Ede erosion that was almost taking a Catholic church, very huge, that we turned into a tourist attraction. Algae erosion, Golden erosion, we recovered it. This man wouldn't want to do anything without what Oshomole started. So when a governor shows bad behavior, he needs to be punished by our tongue. And so please, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time. The timetable has been released. Tomorrow, people start buying nomination form, 50 million naira. From tomorrow to month end. And by February 17th, there will be primaries. Whether delegates, primary as has been published, or the direct primary, whatever primary they will do, you will be connected to that process of choosing the right man that can drive the process. You will receive aspirants. They will promise heaven and earth. But when they get to power, they will show their true color. A lot of persons here can speak to who I am. But until you, by my right, I don't pretend. I will tell you how it is and what it is. It may not be music in your ears, but it will be the truth that should prick the conscience of those who truly have conscience. So for me, this year election, our February 17 primaries, is going to be a litmus test for you to speak to your consciences, for you to pick the candidates that can represent you, the candidate that is ready to lead the charge, and not one that will be hiding behind and send people on the battlefield. And if I emerge the candidate, Chairman, if I emerge the candidate, and Obaseki tries nothing, we might even oppose him before the day of oppose. That is the case. So, I am not afraid to confront institutions. I am bold, I am fearless, I am courageous. I don't give a damn about to human frailties. You can show your color, you can behave in any way, you can show that you are the governor. You have your limitations. You don't control police, you don't control army. You can only work with your team. If you say you have bad boys, we have. If you have good men, you can't have good men like us because you have been a bad person. So we are the ones who have good men. And good men will always overcome bad behavior. That is why, as chairman, as an ESCO member, women leaders, youth leaders, you have remained resolute. Even when you play the role of opposition, under Obaseki's government between 2016 and 2018 or 19, he didn't want to see your faces. And he doesn't believe that a day like this will come when his tenure will be just by the corner. He thought his tenure would be eternity. Now that his tenure is coming to a close, you will be seeing that they are already deserting the drains that have been blocked over the years. He's already talking to the people and doing patching up with streets to say this is the road he has done. He has his social media scavengers. I call them scavengers because even when you interrogate them and you tell them the honest truth about the state, they will not want to see this with you. What is wrong if Benin bypass has a dry port? When you have warehouses that can accommodate all the goods and services they are producing in Southeast, there's so much manufacturing going on in the Southeast. Encourage them to bring your goods to their goods to the bypass dry port. Keep them there. They pay ground rent to Edo people. We make money from that. Instead of just allowing the forest to lie fallow, we must develop the undeveloped areas. And by the time you do that, you will be helping to get people into the tax net by bringing the informal sector to the formal sector and expand the tax net of the state. That way you can make more revenue without taxing too much on the people's convenience. But Obaseki will prefer to take 850 million naira from our location for security votes, use it to line their pockets, go to Lagos, build skyscraper for their company, AfriInvest, and begin to build banks, Globus Bank, and in the final analysis, he will come and tell us he's bringing another technocrat. I say, far. That won't work. Let anybody they are bringing has 10 PhD. Let the person has all the monies in this world. We will look at their trajectory. We will look at them eyeball to eyeball. We will speak on the issues. And we will ask the right questions. When our road becomes this bad, what did you do? You say you are an advisor to the governor. Are you an advisor that encourages kind of bad roads and you are not able to intervene? Or you are an advisor that decides to tell the government to demolish our state library and build a shop right here? If only you know the importance of the library. That library can build 10 shoprights by just generating the ideas from researches and data collection. What they don't want to talk about the future of Edo, it's all about profit and loss. They want to count their gains while the Edo people will count their losses. And we say, no, never again. We are not going to be blindfolded by the trappings of executive powers that are being applied wrongly. By those who think that they can keep us in local prison because we interrogate their failure in governance. That is why Kassim Afegbua has tried to throw his heart in the race. And I'm doing so with all the energy, all the capacity at my disposal. I'm going to pursue this to a logical conclusion. And I'm going to be pleading with you, soliciting, pricking your consciences that please consider this face and this young man standing in front of you when it is time to make that choice. Because the power resides in the people. I'm not going to behave like the man who, having gotten power, thinks that Osadebe Avenue should be like a prison yard, where only him is the chief prison officer, deciding over nobody. I will throw the gate of Osadebe Avenue to every Tom, Dick, and Harry because it's a place for all of us. And I will develop a party-based government. Because without you being here, without you holding forth, there will be no party to talk to in Egor. If you have not been voting for, there will be nobody. If the chairman has not been working, the secretary, the escort, the youth leaders, the women groups, and all of that, who will I come here to talk to? Nobody. If we follow what Obaseki has done, you will be threatened and frightened out of the whole process. You won't want to even do party politics. But for God's sake, when I become the candidate, the party structure will be my campaign structure. Instead of abandoning the party and you go and appoint somebody, this man, he get this thing, he get money, now he go on a campaign DT for Egor. No, it won't happen. The party chairman will be my first 11 officers and his escort. And when they take decision, it will be overwhelming. You see, the point must be made that when Obaseki took over government in 2016, he waited for another 7 months before he appointed his cabinet. For what reason? No justification. He's saving money. He doesn't want to pay people's money. Is the money for the state government, is it his own? No. Not. When I'm privileged to be the candidate and by extension the governor of this state, the day they are doing inauguration, I'll be announcing my cabinet. And the cabinet members will be choosing from amongst yourself who has sustained the party all these years. When nobody gave you opportunity, you remain resilient, to ensure that you champion the cause of the party. That same day of my inauguration, I will make sure that I announce my cabinet, and my first cabinet meeting will be on that day of inauguration. Whether it's a Saturday, whether it's a Sunday, whether it's a Monday, I will hold my first. I will always speak to issues. So, Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you, leaders of the party, my friend Equity, and quite a number of you guys. I want to appreciate you.
You have equally been someone I've liked for a very long time. Just like you are patient. I watch television, doing image laundering about the party. Always have been a person. I believe that for who much is given, much is equally expected. So I think it's not wrong at all to want to live where you believe you have sold. I believe at the appropriate time, at the time comes, it's in our reach. God Almighty will touch on the governor. For which we are such a man. Even at when I have my reservations, but I cannot stop and tell you that you're person I appreciate you. And I equally believe that every one of us here appreciates you. So at the appropriate time, when it comes to the area of decision making, when some of us are equally there, we equally tell the authority what we know about you. So congratulations. Thank you very much for coming to the door. And I believe that I must be in the mind of everybody here at the appropriate time, God will not allow to do something. So, like I said, thank you very much. You are someone who you love so much. Like I said, each time I watch you on television, doing email laundering about the party, even at the heat of when Obaseki believed APC was going to die a natural death, people like you stood out to defend the party. So, I really appreciate you. So, it will not be with great authority to say that you are asking where you believe you have sold. So asking to be governor of the state, you have all it takes. And I believe at the appropriate time, when we are equally asked questions, even when you are not there, we can equally make sincere representation to make the authority knows what we think and believe about you. So thank you for coming. May God bless you.
We'll get back to this.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.